Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Today we got this exciting parcel and we wonder what's inside. Are you excited?
I'll give you a clue. It's a thankful gift for 100,000 subscribers.
Do you think you already know what it is? All right. Okay then. Let's have a look. Oh.
Silver button.
Oh. Ta-da.
Yay.
Oh my god. Wait. It says, congratulations on your subscriber milestone. We are honoured to take part in recognising your achievement and your experience to be exceptional. This award was inspected and packaged by Rick. Thank you, Rick. And it says, if your award was damaged, let us know. That's lovely. Oh, look at this. Is our special letter. This was, I'm sure lots of people.
Something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. You have an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. We know that numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope that you don't lose sight of the reality behind the 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel has been touched by what you created. They were inspired, challenged, or entertained. You have achieved this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and probably a healthy sense of
humour.
I can't read some words. What you've accomplished can't be taken away from you, and we'd like to recognise you and all your hard work with the Silver Creator Award, a small token of your esteem and respect. We know that you don't do this for rewards. You do it because you have a drive to create and share, and because you found an audience who cares. Believe us when we say that we can't wait to see what you do next. 1 million subscribers may seem a long way off you right now, but you're closer than you think. And we're rooting for you. You're
Sincerely.
you're sincerely. Wait, what does that even say? I can't even. Susan.
I don't know.
So should we take it out? Kind of heavy.
It's heavy, isn't it? Take it carefully.
Like Corridor Crew, my dad's favourite channel, has the golden one because
I got loads, don't they? You put your fingers on the mirror bit already. I can see fingerprint marks. Anyway, this is absolutely amazing. And to say thank you so much to you guys for subscribing and watching. We are making something really special, aren't we?
And also, it's thank you for Rick because he gave us this award.
Yes, thank you, Rick. As thank you guys, we're going to make a number block, a really special one. How many blocks?
100,000.
Stay tuned because we're going to make this the biggest number block we've ever made, surely. And thank you so much again for subscribing. And if you haven't, please do subscribe. And we'll see you soon.
And also, thank you, Susan, for our letter.
Yes, thank you, Susan, who's the boss of YouTube. Bye.
Bye.
So now it's time to start making our number block 100,000. So first we designed these squares here and on Photoshop, and these are big squares. Inside each square is 20 by 20, which equals 400. So there's 400 blocks on each sheet. And as you can see, we've designed them so they've got the medium red and the light red, which is what 100,000 looks like. And if you guys can't remember what it looks like, you can see over here when he made an appearance on one of the number block episodes. So we're going to use a paper trimmer just to get a neat edge and cut all of these out. Now the thing about 100,000, you probably remember that it's actually a flat shape like number 1 is. It isn't like a massive cube, and that's because it's got the bricks running all the way through it, and it's the depth that gives us the 100,000. And the next stage is to get our large piece of polystyrene, and we're going to use polystyrene glue and start gluing the sides, because we need these sides in order to create the depth. So it's like we're making whole cubes. As you can see, we had to do this on the floor because the sheet is so big that we couldn't fit it on the table. and I'm just holding that there whilst the glue sets. You guys can use different kinds of glue, but I think a polystyrene glue or foam glue is quite good for this because the texture of the surface is not very even. I'm just measuring everything out to make sure that it should all fit later on when we stick the pieces of paper down. And just measure out another piece here for the side. If anybody actually wants to make this, we can provide the measurements in the future and you can make your own gigantic 100,000. That's me just walking through. And still waiting it for dry. As you can see, this project did take a good couple of hours and it took a few days to do too, and you'll see why shortly. And doing the final edge, and remember you need this edge to create the depth, because if you can imagine inside each square it's like a cube filled with lots of little cubes. And now, just to make sure it dries flat, we put some books around the edges to dry. And then we waited quite a long time to make sure it was secure. And the next process was to start sticking down the pieces of paper onto the polystyrene sheets. Now the thing about this is you have to keep experimenting with glue. So next up, we use this stuff, and this is called polyfiller, and it's like a white paste, and it's used to fill in cracks and holes, usually used by people like builders. But we got a tub of this to spread all over to make the surface nice and even, because the polystyrene is naturally a little bit bumpy, which made it hard to stick the paper on because the paper is quite thin. So we used this, and it was a 1 kilogram tub, and did a really thin layer, and also used some old cards we didn't need anymore. So you could use an old gift card, for example, or you could use a spatula or anything like that, just to make the layer really smooth and just to fill in the gaps a little bit so the paper sits a bit nicer on the front. And you don't have to do it on both sides if you're not doing anything to the back. And the next process was to stick the glue sheets all over the front and on the edges. So you're just doing this, and now what's working really well here is just a good old traditional glue stick, like a Pritt stick type thing is absolutely fine, because it doesn't make the paper crease, because it's very smooth and it's not too wet. However, you could use a better quality, thicker paper, or you could use card and then you can use a wetter glue with it. That would be fine. And just sticking down the edges to make sure it's fine. And I'm just going to stick that all the way around. So just remember how this works is that each sheet, see those big squares, the squares with a light and a dark colour, the ones that we cut out, they would be 20 by 20 times by 10, okay? That means that each section of 4 squares is, let me get a calculator, 20 by 20 by 10, because there's 10 squares at the edge, and that equals 4,000. There's 25 of those squares that we cut out, so 4 times 25, 4,000 times 25 is 100,000, guys. So that's how the maths works out. Here we are, we're adding the finishing touches finally. It took a day for this to dry properly, and this is the eye which we designed and cut out. Again, we will provide these as printables at some point if anyone else wants to make it, and we just made the eye out of 4 sheets of paper and the mouth of 2. And here you go. It's absolutely huge, and it's the finished 100,000, and I really hope you guys enjoyed watching us make this. And we want to say such a massive thank you for everybody who subscribed and watched this channel, and please keep subscribing, and we want to do lots more arts and crafting and all kinds of fun things. There's our 100,000, and you can also cover the back with these sheets too. And I'll tell you something, it's really heavy, probably because we add the layer of plaster. It was called polyfiller in order to smooth out the surface. I think that is why. You could also use card for this. You don't have to use the foam. It's totally up to you. So this is roughly the size of 100,000. You see, it's pretty big. So he thinks we should make 1 million. Leave us a comment if you think we should try and make 1 million. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And we'll see you again next time. Goodbye and thank you again for watching.